Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. We're going to tell you about what they're coming after now, the anti-gunners, because it's something that we've been waiting to happen because they've kind of laid out their battle plan. First, I want to tell you that this video is brought to us by the USCCA. Now, you always hear me say that the USCCA has a lot of training and education. And on that note, they brought a bunch of us out to their headquarters in Wisconsin this past week, and we got to experience a lot of the training that they have currently now, newly released, and stuff coming down the pipeline. And we were, I can speak for everybody because we've all talked about it. We were thoroughly impressed with the amount of training, the quality of training, the quality of instruction, and I really recommend you check it out. Also, when you become a member, you get self-defense liability insurance. The online training is vast. It's really impressive. You should check it out. uscca.com/GNG. And if you happen to defend yourself or somebody else, doesn't even have to be with a pew. If you happen to defend yourself as a member, they'll be there to defend you when it matters the most. So thank you to USCCA for showing me behind the curtain and bringing me to your home. It was very great. I was very grateful. Let's talk about what they're coming after now. Now, daily I tell you things that the anti-gunners are coming after, whether it's new bills or new ordinances or what have you, because it's vast. And I thank you for watching. If you want that information, just hit the subscribe button down below. Well, then I told you a couple weeks ago that they were coming after toys. Yes, the video is floating above, wherever the hell it is. Well, yesterday, a bunch of senators wrote a letter to the Federal Trade Commission. And what they're doing now is they're coming after advertising and video games. Yes, the same people, the left, that says, video games don't lead to crime. No. Now they're saying, well, video games and advertising for firearms makes people go bad, makes people do crime. Here on the screen is the letter that was sent yesterday to the FTC by a group of 12 comrades. This was sent to Lena Khan, who is the chair of the Federal Trade Commission. And it says, "We write to urge the Federal Trade Commission to undertake an investigation and consider regulation of the unfair and deceptive advertising practices used by the firearms industry. Following the horrific massacre at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas on May 24th, Daniel Defense, the manufacturer of the assault rifle used in the attack — it was not a full auto machine gun, which is what an assault rifle is — has come under increased and warranted scrutiny for its advertising practices. Daniel Defense touts military contracts and ties in order to market weapons of war to the general public, and specifically targets and tailors its advertisements to children and teenagers with invocations of and references to popular first-person shooter video games like Call of Duty, a game reportedly played by the 18-year-old shooter in Uvalde. Hundreds of millions of people have played Call of Duty. That's a very, very conservative estimate. There's been, 12 games in the franchise so far. And if that's the case, then why there's not hundreds of millions of people going out there doing the things that these senators are alleging happens when you watch these games or play these games or look at an advertisement. Jump into the last paragraph here on page 1. The FTC has the power to address these deceptive marketing practices that threaten consumers and public safety. Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act empowers the FTC to investigate and regulate unfair or deceptive acts or practices in or affecting commerce, including in the advertising of products. Here's the rub. This is the big one. The FTC has previously investigated and taken strong action against other industries for similar false and misleading safety-related claims, particularly when such claims target and endanger children. The tobacco and e-cigarette industries are perhaps the paradigmatic example. Since the 1940s, the FTC has brought enforcement actions against tobacco companies for unfair and deceptive claims over health and safety of cigarettes, most prominently with its lawsuit against R.J. Reynolds over the use of the Joe Camel cartoon to market to children. Bottom page 2. These petitions show that the available evidence strongly demonstrates that firearm possession, ownership, and use render consumers substantially less safe and substantially more at risk of injury and death with limited, if any, protective benefit. The rare instances in which a gun owner successfully uses a firearm for self-defense are far outweighed by the vastly higher number of injuries and deaths for the owners, family members, and other cohabitants. In fact, research indicates that for each instance in which a firearm in the home is used successfully in self-defense, there are 11 attempted or completed firearm suicides, 7 criminal assaults or homicides involving a firearm, and 4 unintentional shootings. That's a lie. There are more than 3 million self-defense uses a year with a firearm, and that just destroys their statistics. So they go on and say that like people should be told all of the potential things around firearms, like risks of injury or death. That's well friggin' known. And they also say that they should treat those like they did cigarette advertising. But we'll go to the last paragraph here on page 3. None of this evidence is new. We, and more importantly the firearms industry, have known for decades that firearms possession, ownership, and use can have serious, often deadly, irreversible consequences. But that has never stopped the firearms industry from advertising guns as indispensable to protect oneself in and outside the home. If anything, the firearms industry has doubled down on its unfair and deceptive advertising, with a specific emphasis on military and law enforcement grade firearms, and a particular focus on children and teenagers using video games, popular musicians, and television shows, and even Santa Claus to market its products. So now, Santa Claus is too pro-gun for the ultra anti-gun left. This scheme has worked to the benefit of the firearms industry and to the detriment of consumers. Evidence shows that decades of deceptive advertising has deceived Americans into believing, inaccurately, that having a gun in the home decreases the risk of violence, when the opposite is true. This mistaken belief has led to a historic surge in gun sales and industry profits, tragically in tandem with the number of gun-related deaths in the United States. Data from the CDC shows that gun deaths in 2020 in the United States reached the highest level ever recorded, 45,000. Of course, this is by design. Remember, burn the country down, win the election, nobody's going to be prosecuted. It's okay because these groups are on our side. This was created on purpose, and that's why we're here. In 2020, firearms were also, for the first time, the leading cause of death among children and teenagers. That's because they contorted the ages for these reportings to make it fit their narrative. Firearms are also among the leading causes of death nationwide, as more than 120 Americans are killed each day with a gun. And more people die from hammers and fists and cancer and heart disease. Last paragraph, the FTC must act to ensure that the firearms industry, which has operated without oversight and with impunity for far too long, is held accountable for misleading consumers about the harms guns can cause to themselves, their children, and their communities. To that end, we encourage the FTC to make full use of all its tools and authorities to investigate and regulate the firearms industry's unfair and deceptive advertising practices. Now, the 12 comrades who decided that they would try to tie cigarettes and video games and firearms together to make excuses for the crime that was a direct result of their policies, Richard Blumenthal, Connecticut, Edward Markey, Christopher Murphy, Richard Durbin, Sheldon Whitehouse, Cory Booker, Dianne Feinstein, Amy Klobuchar, Kristen Gillibrand, Alex Padilla, Elizabeth Warren, and Jack Reed. Now, I opened by telling you about the training we went to with the USCCA. That's why I say, as a gun owner, you should go to some training to get yourself better. You can take classes with the USCCA. You can take classes anywhere. And what they do is they teach you how to safely handle a firearm so that you minimize the potential of injury to yourself or others unintentionally. We all know what a gun is designed to do. There's no false advertising about that. We don't think that it shoots out a big stick that unrolls a flag and says bang, or spews out unicorns and rainbows. This is just another attempt for them to take everything from all angles, 1,000 cuts, and to destroy the Second Amendment so they have the ultimate control. Guys and gals, I hope you realize how hard they are trying, which is why we need to stay vigilant. We need to be vocal as one group. We need to stop being so damn splintered. This is going to keep going. So I will keep you up to date with where this goes, as well as some other things that I heard that they have planned. And if you want to stay in the know, all you got to do is subscribe to the channel. Help this channel continue to grow. I would love to hit 600,000 by the end of the year, by Christmas hopefully. That's a big stretch. That's my goal though. So you can help me get there by smashing that subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, double check your subscription. YouTube does that stuff regularly. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. I will see you on the next one, guys and gals. Remember, the Second Amendment is for us. We didn't get it from them. Take care.